YouTube reviewer of New England Brews. Welcome back. Today from Portland, Maine and the Shipyard Brewery, I'm going to be reviewing their Export Ale. This is their flagship ale. It is a golden Canadian style blonde ale type of brew. Not necessarily a first pick for a lot of craft brew enthusiasts, because really what it is kind of a craft brew version of an American macro nationally known lager type beer. Usually they're a little better than what you might get over the counter in some of the nationally known brands for the most part. So I'm going to be drinking that one today. And the expiration date on this particular bottle is June of 2011. Now, this Shipyard Export Ale comes in at an ABV, alcohol by volume, of 5.1%. It is made with a number of British-style malts, and it's also made with, I think, 3 different types of hops are into the brew as well. So, let me take the top off and see what we get. Okay, well, how about if I do it right way? That wasn't so good, but there you go. Okay, give it a pour into my favorite Shipyard mug. Not a bad sounding pour, fairly aggressive, giving a lot of head thanks to the aggressiveness, to the point where I don't know if I can get the whole thing in. Just barely fits without going over. Okie dokie, good. I like it when it does that. As you can see, it has sort of a golden yellow color with some fairly busy, lively carbonation. Not 100% clear, maybe just a hint of a hazy or cloudiness, but generally not too bad at all. But there's just a little cloudiness going on in here as well. Let's check the aroma out. Yep, there's definitely a malty sensation on the nose that I'm getting here. And whereas you know, Canadian Golden like Molson or something often has a sort of skunkiness, I think probably to the green bottle, at least every Molson I've had always has this skunkiness. This one doesn't have that kind of scent going on. But there's definitely a good maltiness and a good sweetness going on here as well. Definitely got some sugar stuff going on here in the mix as well. And let's give it a taste. Not a bad body. I'd say medium body or so. Definitely not a heavy body, but not a bad body, not watered down in any way. Just kind of a nice medium sort of body. Taste-wise, though, the taste starts off with a good kind of a nice balance of a sweet maltiness and maybe a slight bitterness going on, but mainly more in the way of malts and a sweetness. But as you sip it further, like I'm about to do, it ends with a kind of nice dry hoppiness as well. Not super dry, but just enough to kind of give it a nice little oomph of hops at the end. This is not a bad beer. I mean, some blonde ales, I just think they're kind of bland. It's not one of my favorite styles, I would say. But I think the sweetness that you're getting in this particular one sort of adds to it. It makes it better than some of the blondes I've had before. And it definitely doesn't have that corny, sort of grassy taste that you get from a lot of the macros, the corn and the rice that are used in some of the nationally known lagers. It has just enough of a craft character to it to make it better than that. Though I would call this, you know, a go-to beer. I mean, it might be a go-to beer if you're really just looking for a quick beer. It's probably a good kind of beer to introduce a friend of yours to. If you're trying to introduce a friend of yours to the craft world, it would be one of those good transitional beers, I think. It's not too strong and not too pungent, not too powerful, but it has enough of the elements that one has come to enjoy in, you know, a nationally known lager like a Bud Miller and Coors. But it's better than that. So, And that's it. That's Shipyard Export Ale. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you again next time.